This bait and switch, I kind of love this. So we gave you the leases, but we won't give you the permits or the pipelines to go further. Oh, and by the way, we wanted the SEC and the Federal Reserve won't even give them the financing. What do you think of that bait and switch?
Well, this is the gross dishonesty of this administration, to your point. I mean, not to mention, he's even fundamentally wrong on the leases. There are right now 2,200 leases that are in litigation. And the only thing a liberal loves more than regulation is litigation. In addition to that, 75% of the leases are being used. And then you have, to your point, this permitting. Just as one example, the time frame for application for a permit to drill on federal lands and getting that permit, the timeline has more than doubled since he became president. In fact, they moved the decision away from places like Dickinson, North Dakota, and Billings, Montana, all the way back to Washington, D.C., so the administration itself can oversee these permits. And so clearly, they have an interest in keeping the price, in my view, price high so that people can buy all those electric cars that are out there. Oh, wait a minute, there aren't a bunch. Just all politics.
Senator Cramer, I mentioned this last evening briefly with our pal David Bernhardt, former Interior Secretary. But, you know, this much publicized energy task force for the U.S. and NATO that was going to put more LNG exports into Europe. But when you read the fine print, it really is a short-term experiment. And I just want to check with you. I thought it made clear. There's a line in there that for the U.S., the energy framework will remain the same, which to me brings our friends back from FERC, Interior, Energy, NEPA, Federal Reserve, SEC. In other words, I don't think anything changed from that. They just want to pump more LNG in the short run, which the Europeans probably aren't going to do anyway. But did you read that differently? Am I being too cynical and difficult about that?
Well, if you're cynical, it's because you've earned the right to be, and they have given us the right to be. I'm not so sure about the European demand side of this formula, but I've led a letter with other members addressing this very specific topic. Here's the tragedy. The tragedy is that, as you know, these are very capital-intensive infrastructure build-outs. So whether it's export terminals, import terminals, pipelines beyond that, of course, the ships that need to be available. And right now there are 4 terminals waiting approval at the Department of Energy. That if they would waive that would be the certainty. Waiving some of that, getting those permits done, that would be some of that certainty that the investors need. But you need more than a 6-month certainty, Larry, as you know. But if they give that, I want to get to the issue of greenhouse gas emissions. LNG produced in the...
Let's go, Brandon! Hey. Let's go, Brandon! Hey.